on Christmas Eve in London.
London, England, that is, not London, Ohio, just in case you're confused.
Oh, yes. Is anyone here from London, Ohio? No. Okay, so it's Christmas Eve in London, England, and that's where we meet Ebenezer Scrooge, the meanest and richest man in all of the land, walking on his way to his office. Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
Bah, humbug!
You see, Ebenezer Scrooge didn't understand why people were so merry at Christmas, because his heart was as cold as ice.
When Scrooge reached the front door of his office, he proudly gazed up at the sign. It read Scrooge and Marley, but Marley's name was crossed out.
Right, that's Jacob Marley. Now, Jacob Marley was Scrooge's former partner who had been deceased for 7 years. Now, Ebenezer Scrooge and Jacob Marley made all of their fortune by cheating poor people out of their money.
Looking up at the sign, Scrooge cackled at the thought of all the money he made by cheating and swindling.
Wow, gosh, that is a very Scroogey laugh.
Thank you.
Oh, good. All right. As he reached the office, he came upon Bob Cratchit, his clerk. Mr. Cratchit was just putting a piece of coal onto the stove when Ebenezer cried,
What are you doing? You used a piece of coal last week. Now get back to work.
Mr. Scrooge, tomorrow is Christmas. I wondered if I might have the day off to spend with my family.
Family schmamily. Very well, take the day off, but make sure you come in early the day after.
Then Scrooge plopped himself down at his desk and just counted his money with glee.
Money, money, money.
Must be funny. Later that night, as Scrooge was walking home, he couldn't help but feel that someone was following him.
As Scrooge reached his front stoop, he looked at the knocker on his door. It was a lion's head.
As he looked at the lion's head, it began to transform before his very eyes. Suddenly, he was looking at the face of Jacob Marley. Hello.
Scrooge screamed, hurried inside, and ran up to his bedroom.
Then he heard chains rattling.
Chain, chain, chains, chain, chain, chains.
And suddenly, a ghost appeared beside him.
Ooh, it was Jacob Marley covered in heavy chains. He looked at Scrooge and said,
Ebenezer, when I was alive, I robbed from widows and stole from the poor.
Well, yes, you were a fantastic partner, Jacob.
No, I was a terrible, awful person. And now I have to carry these heavy chains for eternity as punishment.
The same will happen to you if you do not change. Tonight you will be visited by 3 ghosts. Count them. 1, 2, 3 fantasmas. You had better listen to them or your chains will be even heavier than mine. And then the ghost disappeared. Well, Scrooge was waking in fright, but he got into his bed and he convinced himself that he'd made the whole thing up.
Humbug, he muttered, and fell fast asleep. But it wasn't long before a strange noise awoke Scrooge from his slumber. His clock bell was ringing. Scrooge opened his eyes to find the ghost of Christmas past towering above him.
We're going to visit your past tonight, Ebenezer.
This ghost grabbed Scrooge and dragged him out of the window. They soared high into the night sky, way above the snow-covered rooftops.
A whole new world.
When they landed, they were in front of a store where a party was going on inside. Scrooge looked in and saw some of his oldest and dearest friends laughing and dancing.
By its old fezziwigs!
Then his heart skipped a beat when he saw Isabel, the girl he had once loved.
By George, it's me! I'm dancing with Isabel!
Scrooge remembered long ago to a time when he was happy and had love in his heart.
Over 10 years' time, you chose your love of money over your love of Isabel. Big mistake!
I would never do such a thing! Wait, I did do such a thing. Brooding over his past mistakes, Scrooge found himself back in his bed again. Did you hear a loud voice say,
I am the ghost of Christmas present.
In awe, Scrooge looked up and found a towering ghost above him. The ghost picked him up and effortlessly carried him into the window, through into the night. No problem.
They landed in front of a shabby little house. When they looked in the window, Scrooge saw Bob Cratchit and his family celebrating Christmas Eve dinner. There was the smallest turkey he'd ever seen on the table.
Surely they have more food than that. Then a smaller boy hobbled into the room on a crutch. His name was Tiny Tim, Bob Cratchit's youngest son.
Daddy, save me a week.
Scrooge turned to ask about Tiny Tim, but the ghost had disappeared. Suddenly, Scrooge found himself alone in a graveyard, except for a dark, mysterious figure wearing a cloak.
Are you the ghost of Christmas future? Whose lonely grave is this?
Scrooge looked down and saw that it was his. His heart instantly changed when he realized all the wrongs that he had done to so many.
Pick your 3 sizes that day.
This character I do not know. It's from a different Christmas show.
Who?
Exactly. But Scrooge did feel differently and exclaimed,
I can't change. Let me change for the good. I won't love money anymore. I'll love people.
and then he found himself back in bed.
Really?
Yes. But he soon leaped and went to the window. He looked outside and the sun was shining. The streets were covered with snow. Christmas bells were ringing. And he was filled with joy.
It's Christmas morning. The ghosts have given me another chance.
He quickly put on his hat and his coat and ran out to the streets. To each person that he met, he exclaimed,
Merry Christmas to all!
He even gave hugs to strangers. Very good hug, Dad.
Oh, thank you very much. I've been working on my
Well,
hugs.
I could tell. All right, over at Bob Cratchit's house, there was a knock at the door. Honey, are you expecting anyone? I'll get it. He opened the door, and there was Ebenezer Scrooge carrying a giant sack. He dumped the sack on the floor, and toys spilled out everywhere. Well, naturally, the Cratchit children came running out, collecting all the toys, and Ebenezer Scrooge said,
I'm giving you a raise, making you my partner. You can use all the coal you want in the office.
"Oh, what about the sign? Can I get my name on the sign?"
We'll talk about that.
All right, well, this is already one of the best Christmas presents I've ever received.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas to us all, said Tiny Tim.
And thus Scrooge learned the true meaning of the holiday season and was forever changed for the better.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Ooh, we did it. We did it, Dad. Thank you all for joining us for A Christmas Carol.
And remember, the best holiday stories we have are the ones we make with our family and friends.
Yes,